Hey YouTube, welcome back to the bunker here in Rochelle Park, New Jersey with this round's very last turn 2.7. Welcome back to Axis and Allies, the Garrison. I am so glad that you guys are watching this video because it is the end of a very interesting second round of Axis and Allies. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your support. Okay, things have definitely been getting very interesting. I am so glad to see so many people making commentaries. Some of you are making commentaries that are just absolutely amazing. I really enjoy reading them, and it makes me think that that the many strategies being used here are worth the while. Okay, we don't always have to agree, but we can agree to disagree. Okay, so very much looking forward to hearing more of your commentaries. Okay, I've seen a couple of commentaries where a lot of you guys are giving the UK thumbs up. A lot of you guys like what the UK did when Sire Blood made his little mischief in China when he attacked and invaded the two Japanese-held provinces where the Japanese minor industrial complex in China was destroyed. Yeah, man, I tell you what, I was so surprised. I did not see that coming at all. I totally forgot. It was an error on my part where I totally forgot that there was a naval transport in Sea Zone 37 hidden, actually not 37, I believe 39, that there was a British naval transport hidden within the Japanese Imperial fleet. Totally forgot. And of course that allowed Sire Blood to make his little move and very much surprised the Japanese and caught us, the Japanese, with our pants down, literally. So that definitely was an excellent move on Sire's part. Definitely a big morale booster for him because, as we all know, the British, the UK, have been sustaining a series of defeats in the European theater side of the conflict. So for the UK, it was definitely a big morale booster. So it was good for the Allies. I enjoyed that sort of stuff. Okay. Having said that, though, let me tell you, I'm not quite certain though if it was the smart thing. I shouldn't say smart thing, but I'm not certain if it was tactically sound or strategically sound for the UK to be the one that declares war on Japan. And reason being is because as the Japanese player, I'm seriously contemplating the possibility of going for Calcutta. Okay, so having said that, once round 3 comes in, there's a very good chance that I may go for a Calcutta crush or an attack on Calcutta. If that's the case, that frees me from worrying about the US prematurely coming into the war. So Japan can, in essence, buy an additional round by keeping the US out of the war for one more round. And not for nothing, for Japan, that's a very important thing, keeping the US out of the war, because it will allow Japan then to clean up things in the South Pacific and in Asia, and to deal with the growing menace, the growing threat of the Anzac power. Okay, G.I. Joe has been doing an excellent job with, as you will see in this round, in the rest of this video, where you'll see that the Anzacs are just growing and becoming more powerful and are expanding their capacity to project their power. Okay, so having said that, the fact that the UK attacked prematurely can in a way indirectly benefit the Japanese. Okay, but hey, we can argue this sort of stuff all day long, and I don't know, you know. I'm kind of happy that the US will be kept out of the war if I choose to go with an attack on Calcutta. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know. Okay, was it wise for Sire to prematurely attack, or did he do the right thing? I know it was a big morale booster, and it was definitely a kick in the face for Japan to lose its minor industrial complex. But does it work in favor for the Japanese, or does it really work in favor for the Allies, specifically the UK? Let's not forget, guys, that also the Chinese are looking all right. They're not that bad. And let's not forget also the growing threat that the Soviets, the Russians, are promising in the Amur region, where you have 18 infantry divisions and the entire army group of Russians are at the very border pressing up against my Japanese army in Korea. All right, so a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of things for me as the Japan player to process. Anyway, enough rambling. Guys, please let me know what you're thinking. I look forward to reading your commentaries, and you know, I don't mean to be repetitive in nature, but if you haven't already done so, go ahead, subscribe, like my videos, because it promotes this channel and it promotes the game in general. And hopefully by doing so, more and more people out there who have an interest in strategy and tactics and wargaming in general, and who have a love for board games, will be inspired to join this beautiful hobby that we all love so much. Guys, as always, enjoy this episode and let me know what you think. All right, guys, so we are finally at the end of round 2. Okay, and it is Anzac's turn, and of course Anzac is under the command of my good friend G.I. Joe, who is doing a very good job as the commander-in-chief of the Australian New Zealand forces, otherwise known as Anzac. All right, so Anzac purchased 1 artillery and 1 minor industrial complex. All right, I like that purchase, the minor industrial complex. Some of you may be asking yourself, why would Anzac purchase a minor industrial complex? But trust me, there is a real purpose for that, and it makes sense for Anzac to do so. All right, so let's go ahead then with the combat movements that G.I. Joe made for the Anzacs. He'll be making actually no attacks. Okay, as far as I can tell, it's all just non-combat movements at this time. So Anzac will go ahead and make 2 non-combat movements for now. The naval transport off the coast of Java in Sea Zone 42 will move west by 1 and will unload 1 infantry division onto the island of Sumatra. So this territory now becomes, doesn't become Anzac, but it's under the command of the Anzac forces, okay, or player. All right, so the fighter squadron that is in Java, okay, will engage, will deploy, and will move at a movement of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, that fighter, according to G.I. Joe, will scramble if the Japanese perform an amphibious landing. Okay, and again, you may ask, why would it scramble? Well, the reason is because, as you well know, the Japanese Navy, or fleet here, has 4 capital ships. It's got 2 battle wagons and 2 cruisers. The fact that this fighter, if the Japanese choose to perform a naval or amphibious landing on Calcutta, that's the fact that this fighter scrambles will negate the naval bombardment. So it's a very smart move. But of course, if that happens, we all know that that fighter will be lost. Okay, but I guess it's one worth sacrificing if that's the case. All right, let's go back to Australia. Sea Zone 62, where you have a naval transport off the coast of New South Wales. This naval transport will pick up 1 infantry and will head up north at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. Now remember, there is a naval base in Sea Zone 62, which allows this transport to move at 3. And of course, the Anzacs will be landing or offloading 1 infantry division in Dutch New Guinea. All right, so okay, so now that's it for the Anzac's movements. Let's go ahead then, and non-combat movements, and let's go ahead. Oh, I'm forgetting the 1 artillery here in Queensland. It'll move south, okay, at a movement of 1, and that's it for the non-combat movements. Okay, so let's go ahead then with the placement of the newly purchased units of 1 artillery and 1 minor complex. The the 1 artillery will go, okay, into New South Wales. All right, and the minor complex will go into Queensland. Yes, okay, that's a very good move, because the fact that there's a minor IC in Queensland allows the Anzacs now to be able to project deeper into the South Pacific and the Pacific in general. So good move. This is a move that I saw being done before at the bloodbath last year in September. So it's a good move, and I think it's something that that Joe is looking to repeat here. So good for him. It's an excellent move. All right, so let's go over now. This is the end now. This is the end of Anzacs. I believe the Anzacs, and I'm having a mental lapse right now, but I believe the Anzacs are collecting 24 or 26 IPCs. I'm forgetting right now, but it's either 24 or 26 IPCs that the Anzacs are collecting. So we'll go over to the very end portion of this round, and we'll go ahead with the French. The French, of course, are not performing any attacks, but they will go straight into non-combat movements. The French will be making 3 of them, and the destroyer currently in Sea Zone 70 will be sailing up north to Sea Zone 83. Okay, so that's where that destroyer currently is at. The French Infantry Division in French Central Africa will continue its march onto French Equatorial Africa. All right, so that's where it's at right now. And last but not least, the French Infantry Division in Transjordan will move southwest and will go into Cairo, into Egypt. And of course, it's reinforcing the Allied forces in Egypt, where currently they're feeling the pressure that the Italians, and up to a certain extent even the Germans, are placing on this territory. Things are definitely getting very hot and heavy in the Mediterranean and the North African region. I see a lot of things brewing here, and very, very interesting. All right, so, okay, so what else? I guess that's about it. So it's officially the end of round 2. All right, so let's make this official and move up the round marker up to number 3. All right, so we're officially, folks, now in round 3. Round 3 is going to be a key round, because there's a lot of things that are going to happen. Okay, we not only the Japanese, the Germans, but the Russians, the British, the Americans are also have key moves that are going to be made. So I see a lot of things, and I'm very hopeful that this round will be fun to watch. So stick around, guys, for round 3. Don't forget, guys, to like this episode, and also if you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Okay, I see a good number of you still are not subscribed, and I would very, very much appreciate if you were to do so, because it motivates me to continue producing content for you guys to enjoy, to help promote the game, and to help getting other people into this beautiful hobby that we all love so much, that we all enjoy. And it'll be a good thing for the entire community if we have more and more people enjoying this game. So please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, guys, as I always like to say, don't forget to bunker down and play.